Hello and welcome. This is Linda. Happy to have you here today. I wanted to share some of my fiber art pieces that I've been making using just scraps and creating little scenes. I did do a video on how to create these Scrappy birds, and that's the same method I used to create this little Scrappy fish. I'll link that video at the end of this video. But I wanted to show you how you could create some home decor, some wall hangings, some covers for pillows, anything that you could dream up to use this for. And if you don't want to create it into something else, simply frame it and hang it. It'd be so cute. Wouldn't this be darling in a child's room, in a nursery for a new baby? Wouldn't that be a wonderful gift? And so you can create these, and they're just done out of scraps. You might want to hand sketch just a scene, just roughly, to give you some idea what you want to do with this. Now, as you can see, this is very simple. In the back, I laid a piece of gauzy fabric that just gave me some color, and that was the first thing that I put down. Then over that, I had some fringe off of a scarf, and the fringe was really long. It's about that long. And so I cut that, a piece of that, and then let that fringe go upward like it was something growing from the bottom of the ocean. And then I came in and I added some green trim, a little ribbon here, some different yarn to look kind of like seaweed, maybe that coming up behind, giving this little fish an environment to live in. The fish itself is all hand sewn. Let me bring you up so you can see a little more of the detail. It is all slow stitched together. In fact, this whole piece is slow stitched together. And he's just made out of scraps. He got like a little egg-shaped body. And then I put him a little fin here, and a little fin there, and a little fin up there. I have no idea what kind of fish he is. He's just I named him Finley Flipper. So he's a Finley Flipper fish. I added a piece down here to give me a base, some beads like rocks, and a couple of charms to add out the idea, and some little circles that simulate bubbles in the water. And isn't that simple? It takes a little bit of time, but it's so much fun to create as you go. And if you just sketch out something simple, or simply get a background piece of fabric and start laying things out, and then take a picture of it, you'll have something there to go with, and as you structure it up piece by piece. Okay, very, very simple, all made out of nothing but scraps. Okay, now I have another one that's a bird, another bird, and this is a little different from my other birds in that it just a little different shape. It's almost like a pear shape turned on its side. Okay, and little petal shapes for a tail here, and a little beak and a little eye put in. The rest of the detail is all done with scraps and just regular straight stitching. Okay, a little bit of yarn to help give it the movement that it needs. Got a little piece caught here, and around the piece as I stitched it down. The nest is all made out of scraps. It is very scrappy, as as you can tell, as is the bird. I put in little beads for eggs. I simply laid all these loose fibers, a bed of old loose threads down, and this white here is a little piece of yarn I laid on top. Then I just straight stitched with different colors in there. I didn't want it all to lay completely flat. I want it to have some dimension and texture and fluff to it. So, but it's down. I mean, it's sewn down well, but it does have a little raised dimensional look. Then I just ran a piece of yarn up so I could create some flowers. Now, I created a little butterfly here. This is just a little flower that I had, and then I put this bead on top and then ran the little stitching for the little antenna there. And while we're here, let's look at the flowers. These flowers are made up of wads of thread, just loose thread, wadded together and then flattened out and then sewn with straight stitches. And that creates the flowers. Every bit of it is out of scraps. It's all very, very doable, very easy. Again, as I've told you in the past, there's no exact way for me to tell you how to create something like this, because it's just a matter of picking up bits and parts and pieces and sewing them together. If you have your basic shape, then it's easy to create and layer. You can see it's layered up quite a bit. Then whatever tail shape you want, a little triangle for a beak, and put an eye in, and you've got a bird. Those little feet are nothing but thread, and create whatever you want it to sit on, a branch, some leaves. In this case, I did a nest and some flowers. But it's all completely up to you how you would like to fashion that. But it's another item that you can create out of your scraps that is just so much fun and creative. And I definitely see this as a wall hanging. Let me show you what it might look like. I believe it's going to take if you can envision it, frame something like that. Okay, this one's a little smaller, frames it a little tighter, but you could see what a beautiful wall hanging that would make. Okay, it'd also make a beautiful front to a pillow. Be creative with your scraps and create home decor that you love. It's so easy, just so really doable. Now, like I said, I have a video explaining in a lot more detail how I create these scrappy birds. So please take the opportunity to watch that. It'll be linked in this video. And start creating some art out of your scraps. And that will keep you every day of your life, I guarantee you, scrap happy.